Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Matt. I'm with Voice Crypto, and I'm here to go over the markets with you after what was a very bloody day in the crypto space. We go over here to crypto bubbles, and we have red everywhere, absolutely blood red. A lot of things down, close to 10%. Ever since New York opened, it was kind of a disaster since we started the day. But hopefully over the night we can get some kind of recovery. Since last night, all our trades got stopped out in profit. We are currently in an Ethereum trade that is down majorly, very majorly. But that's okay. Good risk management. You know, you're not going to win every trade, but we're going to win. We're going to lose here. We're going to do it together. But with a good risk reward ratio, this account is going to build on itself very quickly. So right now, this is about 50% from getting stopped out of our trade on Ethereum, and we took this yesterday based off of let me pull up the chart here. We took this trade yesterday when Ethereum broke above the 15-minute 200 MA, and since then we had a little bit of a pump, but since then we have definitely tapered off and fell back below that 200 MA. Looked like we were consolidating in a nice bull flag up here, and it just broke down to the downside, which was unfortunate. Cracked the 200 MA, and we had a capitulation there. So what am I looking for now? Why am I keeping this trade open? Well, we are forming some bullish divergence here, as we are having the RSI trend sideways while price was falling here, and that bullish div is starting to kick in here and get us a rebound back to the upside. And once we get above this this high volume node here in the VRVP, it's going to be a fairly quick gap back up to that 2650 region, which is where I expect us to be at the end of the night. So I'm going to hold this trade open. I'm pretty optimistic about it, and we'll see where it goes. Right, that is the only trade I have open currently. So what about the trades from yesterday? What about our trade on Injective on Bitcoin? Let's go here to our position history. So all these got moved, all the stop losses got moved into profits. So since yesterday we had that Bitcoin long open, we closed that for $60 in profit here. We closed after fees, right? We closed our optimism trade for $42 in profit. Our Solana trade for $7 in profit. Another Bitcoin trade for $10 in profit. We closed more of that. That was just a partial close down here. So, and then we also did try to do an XRP scalp that just didn't work out in our favor. So we did take a $25 loss there, and our Injective trade netted us $10.71 overall. So we're doing pretty good since our first stream, and we are down on this Ethereum trade, but nothing that we cannot turn around. So let's dive into Bitcoin and see if there's any opportunity here in the market. All right, so we got Bitcoin here on the perpetuals, and I was just looking at this before the stream. I was just looking at the hi April. We were just looking at this before the stream, and we're forming this kind of ascending triangle here, and these are 50-50 patterns. So we're gonna take the length of this triangle, and we're gonna duplicate it over here. So one way or another, this triangle is going to break out, and it's going to give us a good idea of where price is going to go based on the structure that's forming here. What I would like to see is just to break above on the 5-minute time frame, break above this 200 moving average, and I would like to see us push to the upside to ultimately reach this target around 97.8. After the day that we had since around 9 o'clock here when the market opened, we have been absolutely capitulating, and it seems like the market has bottomed out here. So I'm looking for that crack of the 200 MA on the 5-minute. I will not be taking any trades until we get that confirmation above the 5-minute 200 MA. As we go back here, we can kind of see, like, if the 5-minute 200 MA serves as good support and resistance. Served this support here, we cracked through it and we capitulated down, and now we're working our way back towards it. If we get that crack towards the upside, you could expect a very violent push that is promoted by bots and by traders who look for that kind of signal. So let's zoom out here. Bitcoin had a very bearish close on the day, bearish engulfing candle. Let me get these drawings out of the way. A bearish engulfing candle. What's a bearish engulfing candle? Well, it's when that candle body can completely consume the candle body before it, right? So with a red candle, bearish, and it completely engulfed the candle before it. So we're looking for a bounce here, but that was a very bearish close for Bitcoin. And you know, I see all sorts of people putting this in all sorts of kind of crazy wonky patterns, but what I'm seeing is kind of this wedge formation forming here, and you know, some people say, hey, this was the top, right? You got the top, the double, the M pattern that's going to break us to the downside, and that could be possible too. We are below that high volume node, which is something that gives me concern. When these wedges do break up most of the time, but when they break down violently, they break down hard. and it could capitulate very quickly, especially with all the people who have their stop losses below here. The market makers know that, and the market makers love to eat those stop losses. When we had this mass capitulation, biggest crypto liquidation event in history, we still have not dropped below that wick to eat up all the stop losses that have been down here in this whole region. This this box here, there are tons of stop losses, tons of orders down here that have not been filled, and the market maker really wants to eat those, right? So we're going to keep an eye on that. And if we had a drop down to $80,000 on Bitcoin, it would not change my bullish thesis that we're still in a bull market, but it would definitely cause concern in the meantime for altcoins. And a way we could kind of look at that here is to look at Bitcoin dominance. Now, this isn't a chart based on price. This is a chart based on how much money is in the overall crypto, how much money total in the crypto space is in Bitcoin, right? The percentage of that. So when the Bitcoin dominance is high, it just signals that Bitcoin is holding most of the money. We go back here over time, and people like to refer to these periods where we had massive drops in Bitcoin dominance, not necessarily that Bitcoin's price was dropping, but a lot of money rotated from Bitcoin into the altcoins. So we had Bitcoin season, we had alt season. We've been having Bitcoin season, honestly, for since November of 2022. Bitcoin has been on an absolute tear. We were down at 40% here, and we are over 60% currently where we are. Everyone's waiting for this mass drop off, and the way the charts are looking, I'm not entirely sure that we're going to get it. There's a lot of institutional interest in Bitcoin right now, and the altcoins have been getting absolutely demolished. Anytime Bitcoin pulls back 1%, 2%, you see all our altcoins down 9%, 10%. Some of these, you know, on the month, just absolute decimation, 29, 36. We went over this yesterday. So I would definitely watch your altcoins and be careful in the near term with your altcoins if you're leverage trading, because the moves are going to be a lot more violent and a lot faster in the near term, at least until Bitcoin dominance starts to taper off, because it has been on an absolute massive tear since November of 22. It's in a constant uptrend. Right here, this is where a lot of people speculated on alt season starting. You know, this is right around election time, and we had a massive drop in Bitcoin dominance due to that speculation. Trump's going in, you know, getting that speculation going up that we're going to create not just a Bitcoin reserve, but a digital asset reserve. So a lot of people jumped into assets that they viewed in their mind as relatively cheap. So I see Bitcoin dominance going further to the upside here. Let's clear up all these lines from earlier. So we have a pretty clear pennant here. And we've been over pennant structures before on this channel. You have your flagpole. Right, and it says Bitcoin dominance is going to go on another tear. When this rips, when Bitcoin dominance rips, it signals that money's going to go from the altcoins into Bitcoin. That's a 6% move. That is a massive move. Bitcoin dominance hasn't been this high in a very long time. Since, I mean, at that point, you're looking at the February, early 2021, which is when we had our massive alt season last time. So everybody could speculate, but while this 200 moving average holds on the daily, I think Bitcoin is in a state where it is safer to be in Bitcoin than it is to be in altcoins from an investment perspective. But from a trading perspective, I mean, obviously altcoins will react a lot faster. So April is a question. What caused the bloody market today? I don't know. I don't think we had any massive red folders or anything come out today, like economic news. But we could look. Let's see here. A lot of good news pops up. Economic news today. Things will pop up. That is, you know, that's pretty interesting. inflation fears. Inflation's always going to cause people to run into assets that they believe are safe, which has been gold lately. As of late, we could check out the gold chart here. And gold has been on an absolute massive tear at all-time highs. Yeah, at all-time highs. When there's fears of inflation, people are going to run to hard assets like gold, like platinum, like silver, things of that nature to be able to hold in their houses, to be able to ensure that their dollar value is preserved when more money is going to be printed, which is what inflation is, right? So having gold, holding on to gold, I mean, ever since we started printing money, you know, we go back to, you know, this is 1940, right? 1940, where gold was trading at $24 an ounce. And ever since we turned on that money printer, you know, back after the stock market crashes, and, you know, we had massive explosion in inflation. We started to debase the dollar away from gold. So the government didn't have to back gold anymore with the dollar, so they were able to just print it, right? And when they started doing that, that's what's led to the inflation in our country. So that's why gold's at an all-time high, even today, because inflation fears are sparking, and gold's going to continue to rip until those fears subside, right? And risk-on assets are going to struggle in the near term. And fear will get people to do a lot of crazy things as far as sell-off goes. Just the other day, we had Nvidia take a 20% nosedive. The most valuable company in the United States took a 20% nosedive due to the DeepSeek coming out, and that Chinese AI platform that claims to do it a lot cheaper. So, and to pretty much dwarf a lot of the United States AI companies. And if anybody used ChatGPT or DeepSeek, they understand like what AI can actually do, and the potential for it to replace a lot of workers. So that they were able to do that under budget is what causing Nvidia to collapse 20% in a day on a $1 trillion asset. It is absolutely astounding to see. So that's why people are running into gold. Because it is safe. It's safe. Gold's never going to go down in value while there's fears of us printing more money. Because where's that money going to go? It's going to go into bonds. It's going to go into gold, some safe stores of value, right? And you know, Bitcoin arguably is a better, safer store of value than gold, but it doesn't have the institutional adoption that gold has. Gold has an $18 trillion market cap, where Bitcoin only has 2. So people feel a lot safer holding gold than Bitcoin. So when I'm taking my trades, another question from April, when I'm taking my trades, it's really important to have a very good risk management system before you go into any trade or investment. I'm also not a financial advisor, so I do not recommend taking any of my advice. This stuff is for entertainment purposes only. And I highly recommend you get yourself a financial advisor before getting into any trade or investment. So whenever I'm making a trade, right, and I'll use the long tool right here. Say I have $100, right? I'll even use my little paintbrushy here. Say I have $100, right? And this is going to be how I fund my new trading account. And I divide that into 100 pieces, right? It says that each trade I make is going to be $1, right? And you can scale that however you want. 1,000, 1,000. You cut that into 100 pieces. That's that's $10 per trade. So ideally, this is the amount of money you want to risk per trade, according to my risk management strategy, right? Because I'm risking 1% of my account, and I'm always looking in my trades. If I'm going to risk $1, I want to make $2. If I'm risking 10, I want to make 20. And if I have a risk management structure like this, then whenever I'm losing a trade, I'm not concerned about my $100 initial contribution to my account, because if I lose $1, this is going to be worth 99. If I lose 10 trades, I'm going to have 90 bucks left, right? But if I lose 10 trades in a row with $10 on a $100 account, then my whole account's going to be gone, right? So the purpose of this channel is to show you how you can slowly build up a small amount of money over the course of time. And that's why we're looking to just double the account that we have currently. We're not looking to 10x it or 20x it. Well, over the course of time we will, but you know, you have to establish goals for yourself in the near term, and having that risk management of 1% to win 2% of your account is going to slowly build your account over time. And by taking these risk rewards of 2 to 1, 3 to 1, sometimes it will even do 5 to 1 trades, then I don't need to win every trade in order to be a profitable trader. I don't need to win 50. I don't even need to win 50% of the trades that I take in order to be a profitable trader. I only need to win 1 out of 3 trades utilizing a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio to break even. So if I take 100 trades and I lose 50 of them, I'm still going to be an insanely profitable trader, because on average I'm making $1 per trade regardless of win or loss. So that's the idea behind risk management. That's the idea behind risk management and building your portfolios like that. If I took this $100 trade and I doubled it on a single trade, say I went 100x leverage, I controlled $10,000 of an asset, and it absolutely ripped to the upside, and I sold out. Now I have $200 in my account. That teaches you absolutely nothing. You got lucky and you gambled, and that's great that you doubled your account, but now you're gonna do it again. You know, you go 100 for 200. For 200, you get. Oh man, this is tough with the cursor. I'll tell you. You got 100 for 200, and then you're gonna go 200 for 400, and maybe you hit that. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna go at it again. I'm gonna do another 200 for 400. And then you lost it. Or you lost that one too, you know, or you hit that one. So now you have 400. So now you're gonna take half of that and go for another 400. Well, you lose that trade. And now mentally you saw $400 in your account and you're like, man, I have to make that back. So I'm gonna take this 200 and I'm gonna go all in again. And I want my $400 back. So I'm gonna take a 100x leverage position and I'm gonna go again. And that trade doesn't pan out. And now you're left with nothing. Now you're not even back to your original 100. You're at nothing. You have nothing in your account. And so now you're angry and now you're frustrated at trading. And that's frustrating, especially for beginners, because you get euphoric when you start winning trades. So right now, for me as an example, right, I only ever risk 2% of my account at max at a time, right? Which is equivalent to about $100, right? It's a little off on this trade, but equivalent to about $100, right? On a $5,000 account. So if I were to lose 2% of my account, because I'm risking 2% for 4% on this trade, it's a little more aggressive, right? It was supposed to be a longer term trade, but hey, it's not working out. But I'm not bothered by that, because if I was bothered by that, then the next trade I'm going to be doing, instead of, you know, 130 for, you know, 400, I'm going to be doing 260 for 7. How we doing? How we doing? All right, can you hear me? Oh, sweet. You guys can still hear me? All right, cool. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to mess with this. Come on, camera. Don't worry, we can do this. We can do this. Woo! All right, we're back. Sick. All right, cool. I don't know how that happened, but the internet got me. That's okay. We're back on, I believe. We're ready to go. Oh, yeah. There we go. Sick. All right, we're ready to ride. Let me see here. Just get this pulled back up. All right. All right. I think we're good. I think we're good. Cool. Definitely lost my train of thought there. Absolute stream panic. But let's see what we got. All right. So, yeah, that's, I don't know where you guys cut off, but that's the idea behind risk management, right? To make sure that you can slowly build your account over time while you're learning to trade, right? And as your account gets bigger, right, you take a $1,000 account and take it to $2,000, right? Then you can start using bigger trades. Instead of doing $10 trades for 20, you can start doing 20 for 40, right? 5,000, 50 for 100, or 100 for 200 at that point, right? Or you get to 10,000, you're starting to play with $100, like your $100 for 200, 200 for 400, right? Risking 1% for 2%. But those, it's the same principle regardless of how much money you have in the account, because it allows you to understand risk management, and that none of us truly know where the price is going to go on the chart, right? You know, nobody knew that COVID was going to happen. Nobody knew that FTX was going to crash. Nobody knew any of that stuff. And those massive capitulation events happen, and they get people, and they wreck people, and they liquidate people, and they kick people out of the space forever, because people have their entire accounts leveraged in some cases, right? And in the event that were to happen to me today, right, Bitcoin goes through an absolute massive capitulation slash crash, I'm going to lose $133. What I'm not going to lose is my account balance, right? And each trade, you have to understand how much you can lose, because you need to understand that as soon as you hit the long or the short button, 9 times out of 10, the trade isn't automatically going to go in your direction, right? I mean, you could look for different signs and signals and to, you know, look for the best entry point possible. But at the end of the day, like this trade, right? We were looking really good. We got above the 200 MA, right? And you know, we're flagging out. We got in here. We got in at, honestly, the top. That was horrible. We got in at the top. Did we know that? No, absolutely not. But we got in at the top there, right? And even though it kind of met with all my signals that I like to take, we still rode it to the downside, and it is what it is. But I put my stop loss below this low, right? Which, if it breaks, likely to fall further. And I use good risk management while making the trade. So I'm not worried if this trade actually gets stopped out, because I'll just reassess and look for the next opportunity, which is what we're going to do right now. I want to go into Bitcoin and look at where Bitcoin's at. We are approaching that signal that I love, that 5-minute 200 MA. Last time we crossed it, we dumped massively, right? So I'm going to set up my trade here. And this is where I want to look at building a position. And you can do this on all time frames. Just something that I like to do. So most of the time, you're going to wait to, what I like to do is wait for the stochastics to come down, be oversold, and start curving back up. So we could take advantage of that movement to the upside, kind of like right here where that blue line crosses the orange line. That's the blue line being your mark line, the orange line being your signal line. You're going to look for that curvature to the upside. All right, so we'll check out some other time frames. The 15 minutes pretty far up there. That's okay. But we're going to go based off of the 5-minute time frame here. We already broke above the 1, which is nice. The 21 moving with price action. That's very nice to see. But it is likely that we are going to flag out before we get any kind of substantial move to the upside. And in the event that we did get a substantial move to the upside, it'll ride without me, because I'm not looking to chase green candles. So we're gonna wait for a 5-minute candle body close above the 200 SMA, and we're gonna wait for that blue line right there. If we zoom in, we'll wait for that blue line right there to curve back above the orange line. You can see it's kind of curving down right now. That's okay. So we'll just wait for our signal as we go into some other assets here. Open up a different trading view. We'll leave Bitcoin there on this side. All right, here we go. All right. Oh my gosh, what is happening there? All right, let's take a look at Solana. We were in Solana yesterday, and we got out. We made a nice trade for profit, right? We took advantage of this flag that popped to the upside. It was really good to see, right there. It's on the daily time frame, but we did have a flag. We did have a flag that popped to the upside, right? And we are going to get rid of these boxes here. Boop, boop, boop. Right, and we fell below that 5-minute 200 MA. So here we are again, approaching it. The 21 is starting to curve. That is a good sign. Tried to curve here. We couldn't quite get back above the 200, right? So here we are again with that secondary attempt. What I'd like to see is just a flag out here. We create a little bull pennant like this. Something like that. And we'll tweak it as price action develops, right? That's what I would like to see in order to enter a trade. We could just keep moving up to the upside, but the more green candles you have in a row, the more likely you are to have a more substantial kind of pullback, right? So I want to see some consolidation. I'll take a long, right? As this 200 MA comes down to meet price action. I come down here, right? We're consolidating. We get that candle body close above. I'll be in with the stop loss below this low, and we'll go for 2 to 1. That would be my trading strategy, right? So looking back on Ethereum looks really good right now. Let's pull that up. Ethereum looks really good right now on Bluefin anyway. I can see that it's kind of consolidating and breaking out of what I see. Let's get rid of our old work. Breaking out, looking to peek its head over here out of this falling wedge pattern. It's not quite a descending triangle. You still have that angle of that lower line. So we're looking for that pop, for that explosiveness, right? Out of this flag, we crack above that 5-minute 200 MA, and it's on. We're coming back up to that $2,700 level. Right, and that's likely to be a giant catalyst for a very big move, and that will save this trade that is currently underwater. So we will be looking at that very closely. April loves gold. I know. All right. All right, let's look at crypto market cap, see if there's anything. Coin market cap, and let's see what's popping out today. Right, so this side is really cool, right? You can organize anything by whatever category you want to look at. They even made a category for made in USA. Yeah, made in USA. It's a cool category to look at because Donald Trump talked about making all USA made crypto projects tax-free. He talked about that during his campaign trail, and we'll see if that comes to fruition. I have no idea. All right, so what I like to do is click on the 24-hour mark here. You can click on it twice, once for the gainers in the 24-hour, once for the losers in the 24-hour, right? So let's look at the gainers, see who's doing really well today. Monero, you know, USDC is always going to be, on a bearish day, it's going to be in the top, right? Because it doesn't hardly move. On a bullish day, you won't see that even close to the top. So we'll look at our biggest losers here. What a great show. They should bring that back. All right, so we got Celestia, biggest loser, down 10%. Jasmine, Hedera. Yeah, a lot of the WorldCoin. Yeah, a lot of big projects are down pretty big today. We could also filter it by the hour, right? So if you're looking for bullish continuation patterns, right, it's cool to look at coins that are up massively in the last hour. So you could look at, let's see, Onyx Coin XCN up 7% in the last hour. That is an explosive move. My buddy Josiah loves XCN. All right, let's see. All right, currently getting rejected off that 15-minute 200 MA, but that's okay if we can get some consolidation here while the 21 catches up the price action. That'd be really good to see. Let's delete our old work there. And we're looking for a full candle body close above that 15-minute 200. And you can zoom into the one here if you're looking for some kind of scalp. That does look double top. That does have double toppy vibes for me. This is what you would be looking at. See if you could kind of manage some kind of pennant there. If you're speculating on a further bullish continuation to the upside, the stochastics are reset. I do like to see that. But right here, this is what has you struggling right now. You have that bearish divergence. Let's clear this up so we can see that. With the bearish divergence, we have a swing down as we made a lower high on the RSI. And we made a slight higher high there on price action, right? Not including the wicks. We're just talking about the bodies. Yeah, that's what's pushing the price down. That bearish div did play out perfectly. It does say that we would break this low prior to breaking this high. And that's what that 1 minute bearish div just did and confirmed. So now we could disregard that bearish divergence, right? You could argue that it's already played out, right? And even if you wanted to, some people like to use the wicks here, right? I'm not a big fan of using wicks, but whenever you have divergence, I feel like it's acceptable, right? Get that bigger flag, an idea, and you may be able to get something like a, just speculating here, just different ideas. You get a shoulder, you know, you get the head, and you get the right shoulder, which could push us out to the upside. And that's the idea, to constantly just evolve ideas. And when you see something that seems obvious to you, you know, I'm not in a trade right now on this, but if we were to see something that I liked, I would definitely look at taking a trade. Right now we're deep in that Ethereum trade, and it's the only trade we have open. I really struggle, and this is where I'm trying to evolve as a trader. I really struggle shorting this market. It goes against everything that I believe for crypto. Is it's an asset I believe that's going to go absolutely crazy to the upside once institutions get involved. So to me, it's counterintuitive to short an asset that I think is going to absolutely outperform everything in the next 10 years. A lot of these projects are going to be very, very very world changing, and I believe industrial revolution type kind of in an industrial revolution kind of way, and replace a lot of jobs that really aren't useful in our economy anymore. How much money you spend giving to people that really don't earn much of their keep. No offense to people in these professions, but things like bankers, realtors, you don't need to do that. Just recently we got a rental house, so we never talked to a realtor. Why does it have to be that way where we pay a realtor 3% of a several $100,000 asset just to show us a home? That doesn't make any sense in my mind, right? Like that, you know, there are things that they can do, right, to, or I guess, earn their money, but not all of them have to. And you honestly almost need a realtor to sell a home nowadays. So it's just one of the ways that blockchain, right, by putting contracts on the blockchain, you can get rid of that entirely and save people thousands, tens of thousands, in some cases hundreds of thousands of dollars by avoiding paying somebody who really doesn't need to be paid. All right. And you could talk about talk about the banking industry, right? Giving you loans. A lot of these, like Rune is a lending platform based off of Bitcoin. You don't need to go to a bank for a loan anymore, and they're going to charge you. They're going to charge you like crazy interest rates. Like if you look at buying a house today, you look at paying, if you buy a $200,000 house, you're paying $500,000 for that house over the life of the loan. Blockchain can change that. So it can really put a lot of money back in your pocket. And we're going to look back on these days where we laugh at the times where can we believe that we paid double the amount for that home over the course of 30 years? It's not going to be like that anymore. Not for a lot longer. So to me, it's a little sidetracked there, but it's counterintuitive to short assets like this because I really believe that they're going to change the world. So as a trader, I know I need to learn. I know I need to short the market more. And shorting markets come pretty, the profits come a lot faster than longing, in my opinion. The dumps are pretty massive, and the longs are more stair-steppy, right? Stair step. But when you have a dump, you get a massive dump, right? So, I think the pumps and the dumps are usually so much bigger than the pumps, and it just always are. But the longs will stair step up. So I like longing. It's just kind of a bias that I have in the in the space, and I think I'm always going to be a long bias trader just because that's how I enjoy the trade. I like knowing that my spot assets are going up as well as the trading account, right? It just seems so counterintuitive to short. It really does. All right, here we go for Bitcoin. Here we go. Right, this is the next move that I'm looking at. Went over this earlier. I'm looking for that 200 MA cross. It's coming. It's coming. We're waiting like a cobra in the grass. Good old Crypto Kirby used to say, like a cobra in the grass, ready to strike out of the grass. We're going to strike, baby. We're going to strike as soon as that 200 MA crosses. That is what we were looking for. All right. While we're waiting, does anybody have any questions? Any questions? Any questions, any assets anybody wants to go over? Anything that is piquing you guys' eye? Let's see him. Let's see him. Let's see if we can light up the chat. Light up the chat. We got our 3 viewers ready to ride. Let's go. What do you guys got? Show us Fartcoin. I love Fartcoin. I love Fartcoin. No, I'm not gonna. I knew that was something like that was gonna come. Let's look at Fartcoin, baby. Let's go. Love Fartcoin. Fartcoin, the new Bitcoin, right? Yeah, let's go. We'll jump into Fartcoin. This thing's gonna change the world, everybody. Let's change it. Woo! I couldn't imagine that, right? Like, I couldn't imagine that. Like, what, honey? How did we make it? How did we make it? How did we become millionaires? How do we live in this mansion with the view over the mountains? How do we have all this stuff? Dad, why are we eating lobster for every meal? Why are we eating steak? Why can't we? Why are there so many people eating PB&Js and we're just eating this scrumptious, delicious food? We're going out to eat every night. Oh, son, I'm glad you asked. It's because I invested in Fartcoin. It's because I invested in Fartcoin so many years ago, an asset that was going to change the world, an asset that constantly is on crypto bubbles, screaming in Matt's face, in Boy's Crypto's face. Where is it? It's not even on here anymore. Thank the Lord for that. For real, this thing is the bane of my existence. Every time I was pulling up crypto bubbles for like 3 weeks, Fartcoin, where is it? Just type in fart, it'll come up. Fartcoin would be screaming in my face. And it was during this run up. And I was telling myself, I was like, no matter how much crypto research we do, no matter how much research we do, no matter how much speculative investing or targeting, and no matter how diversified our portfolios, I was convinced that Fartcoin was just going to outperform me no matter what I did. It was driving me nuts for a while. It was driving me nuts. But lo and behold, Everything comes to fruition when it comes to these meme coins, baby. Everything comes to fruition. Meme coins, as fun as they are to trade, meme coins, when the market goes south, will take the biggest kick in the face over. It'll take a harder kick in the face than anybody else. Like, you're gonna see things that are down massively, right? You're talking Fartcoin. Oh, I love Fartcoin. All right, let's go back to the top. You have good quality projects. Dang, it almost doesn't fit on my screen there. Look at that. You have good quality projects that actually change the way we look at finance. And then you have Fartcoin, a meme created out of nothing on Pump.fun. And here we go. Let's get the exact timeline. Oh yeah, baby. 80% in 3 weeks. 80%. Any money you got and you had in there 3 weeks ago is gone. 80%. I have said the meme coin phase, I believe, is honestly dying. This junk will be out of the market. And I think this capitulation event was something that did it. I challenge anyone. You know, everybody was hoping, oh, I should have gotten a Fartcoin at $2. You know, when we were up here at 283. You're going to buy Fartcoin now? Below where it was traded. This is only a month old, 2 months old. You know, buy Fartcoin now. I won't touch this thing with a 10-foot pole, as they say. Would not touch this thing with a 10-foot pole. Memes are not a part of my investment strategy. I do have a small meme portfolio. A small, several $100 meme portfolio. And it's just that, for speculation, right? It is just for speculation. I don't have anything to say except for negative things about meme coins. But, as to scratch that trader itch of hitting that 10 million X, I'm trading, I have a small meme coin portfolio, but this is not, I'm not a financial advisor, but this is not where I believe where the majority of your funds should lie. Fartcoin is going, in my opinion, is going to zero. Fartcoin is going to zero, and it will not recover. It does not do anything. It does not earn money. It does not change the way people think about, anything. It doesn't solve a problem. This is an asset that I believe isn't going to be here anymore. This is a dying asset here. And I've often thought about this since it came out. I love bringing up Fartcoin. All right, let's bring up Trump coin. I love Trump coin. What do you say? What do you say? What do you say to this? I respect that the President of the United States backed this coin, but at the end of the day, it does nothing. And there's price action before this. This is when it came out in TradingView, but this was the high. $73, $75. An asset backed by the president has absolutely capitulated and fallen off. It was a casino to see, and a game of chicken to see who would hit the sell button first. And I wish it was different, but everybody saw it as a quick buck. Anything that comes out that is too good to be true often is, and Trump coin is a great example of that. A worse example. Melania. I've seen a lot of rug pulls in my crypto days. And I get this is the first lady of the United States. But tell me this does not look like Haktua coin or any of the other coins that got absolutely rugged by developers for a quick buck. And I think it was an honest shame that that family took advantage of the space like this and does not publicly come out to comment about it. That's just my personal belief. But anybody who got involved in any of these projects and held them for more than 2 days got wrecked. Absolutely decimated. And it is a scratch on the industry for sure. And since these coins got released by the Trump family, the entire space has been not the entire space, I would say everything except for Bitcoin has taken a kick to the teeth. And I just I just think that that the space deserves better, especially for what it can do for our future. All right, let's look at some more questions. Show us the nurse coin. All right, I'll show you the nurse coin. Let's go over to Dex Screener. If you ever want to use Dex Screener is for the degens, for the people who love this stuff, who love to catch that new 10 million X, right? This is the stuff that you could find. A lot of these assets you cannot purchase with cash. You need to have a decentralized wallet, such as Soulflare or Phantom, right? So that you're able to purchase these assets, because you need to use these chains here in order to purchase things. So one of the coins in my meme portfolio, and I wouldn't even call this a meme, and I'm just going over this for fun. I don't recommend investing in any of this stuff without doing your own due diligence, right? This is Mandy. Yeah, this is Mandy coin. All right, Mandy coin. Mandy is a certified nurse, a registered nurse, registered nurse that developed this coin and is implementing AI to try and change the medical field. It is a meme coin. You can see, you know, a little fun graphic up here or whatever, and you can go to their website and Twitter and everything. But this is one of the smaller gems that I've invested in. I think can do some serious damage. Again, this is less than 1% of 1% of your net worth. Like, it needs to be a very small allocation if you were to invest any money into any of this stuff, because the market cap is so small. $2.5 million. When you're talking about Ethereum, you're talking about hundreds of millions. Bitcoin in the trillions. Like, you need to be very careful with getting involved in any of these assets. And why, right? Let's go over here and look at some of these percentages for the assets that are on here. This is why it's so dangerous trading memes, right? Everybody gets hyped up about these percentage gains, right? The 24 hours, right? Even though you're up 5,000%, in the last 6 hours you're down 55%, right? Or, you know, you'll have 23% drops in 5 minutes. These percentages are serious. And if you put 99% in the past 6 hours, what a drop for Tinder swindle. Yeah, there's crazy names and stuff on here, and the reality is that 99% of these projects are going to absolute zero. They will not see any kind of servicing. I'd say 1 in 100,000 are going to make it and be successful, but most of these right here, let's go to Pi Network. Oop. Let's go right here. Be careful when investing in any of the Trump stuff. People make a lot of scams, a lot of fake accounts, and you can get rugged. Look at this. Here we are. Classic rug pull. You'll have coins release and get a bunch of hype, and then the developer will just sell all their coins and it will be back to absolute nothing, right? And market cap gets distilled, right, or diluted, and it becomes a value that just does not represent how much money is in the market, right? Especially when someone massively sells off an amount like this. This is a classic rug pull. Please be careful when getting into any of these meme coins. If you're in, get out. You need to have a clear-cut strategy when investing in memes, because this is Eric Trump right here, right? But no one knows if it's the real Eric Trump or if anything. No one knows, right? It's just speculative. Like when Trump came out, people thought his Twitter was hacked. They're so speculative, and the market caps are so small. The lock liquidity, anything below 100,000 in lock liquidity is, in my opinion, dangerous. Anything below $1 million is very dangerous. But that's where you're gonna find those those gems. So just do your own due diligence and risk management when it comes to the meme coins. The egg chart. Yes, I could get the egg chart in a minute. So a lot of the April just asked how I got into this stuff, and I learned a lot through YouTube. I have a lot of credit to give to the Crypto Lifer and Jason Casper, as they have taught me a lot of what I know. A lot of the YouTubers, like Crypto Zombie, Crypto, a lot of them inspired me based off their past and their ability to turn their lives from something that from, I don't want to say from rags to riches, but in Crypto's case, he went from being a taxi driver to a multimillionaire, and those kind of stories just inspire me. And when I look at crypto, it is the only space I really see, right? It's my shot, right? It's my shot of becoming something that's a little bit, that's bigger than what I am today. It's my shot at becoming a millionaire one day. It's my shot at it's that chance. I can't think of another thing in my life that I can honestly see myself obtaining that $1 million level. I can go and work for somebody for 50 grand a year. It'll take me 20 years to make $1 million, right? And that's if I saved every penny. Even if you make 100 grand a year, right, working for 20 years, you're looking at 2 million. You probably spend over half of that during that time, like, and that's $1 million. And by that time, I'll be 50 years old, right? And $1 million 20 years from now isn't going to go as far as $1 million will today, right? Like, now it's pretty essential that you make, close to 100 grand a year in order to get by. Whereas I remember when I was a kid, like 100 grand, man, you were rolling in it. You were wealthy. You were super wealthy. And now that's becoming more and more common. So I'm interested in being able to scale the wealth that I have, vice trying to, jump in the rat race and try to just make it just like everybody else. I'm trying to shoot for the stars, and like with this YouTube channel, it's just kind of documentation of that. Even if it, like, I appreciate all the following and all the support from everybody, but this is like my shot. This is how, if I'm going to, when I become a millionaire, I'm gonna look back and I'm gonna be like, this is how I made it, right? Through trading and learning how to pull money away from the markets, because just working and giving up such a large percentage of my life isn't freedom to me, and it doesn't make me happy. This stuff makes me happy, like being able to have a skill where I could take money from the market and move it on, and put it in my pocket is so satisfying, because I don't have a schedule, right? I don't rely on anybody else to pay to pay bills or anything. I can do that on my I can do that with I can do that on my own and with my family here. So I don't need a job right now. This is my job. This is my shot and my opportunity to make something of myself. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm on the stream. And I'm trying to this is my shot. That's why I got into all this, because I saw crypto as the opportunity. And I am my own opportunity, and I'm just grabbing the bull by the horns here, and I'm gonna try and ride it to the top. I'm gonna try to ride it to $1 million. I want to look back, and I want to be able to help people, and I want to be able to just say that I was able to accomplish it. I set my mind to something, and I'm not gonna stop until I get to where I want to go. So this is the job for me that will provide me ultimate freedom, and allow me to go into the future and provide the life I want for my family. So I know it's going to happen, and I'm going to keep working on it every single day until it comes to fruition. So that's why I got into it, and that's why I'm in crypto, and that's why I'm trading, and that's why I learned the skill, and we're going to see if we can we're going to turn it into something. It's going to be something truly special. I'm excited that everybody here, especially the early subscribers, right? I'm hoping that everybody gets to join me along the way and learn with me and grow with me, and that's what this whole account's about, right? To try to show you that you can do anything, and anything's possible, and you can move forward with your life, and you don't really necessarily need to rely on anybody else. This is a skill to where you can create money for yourself. I love that. I think it's so beautiful, right? So we're getting close to that 5-minute 200 SMA. TikTok, right? We're getting that blue line crossing over the orange, which is what we were talking about in the stochastic indicator a little earlier, which is really good. So we're going to set up our trade here just so we have it. ready to go. I don't know where it went earlier, but here we go. Here we go. So I like to put my stop loss below the pattern right there, and we're going to go for a 1% for 2% move. And we'll go as soon as we get the candle close above the 200. I like how the 21's coming up to meet price action. That's called a golden cross. Whenever the 21 crosses the 200, it is a very, very, very bullish signal. A lot of conventional market analysts use that on the weekly time frame to determine whether we are in a bull or a bear market overall, in the stock market, in the futures, in the bond market, and everything. So it's a very powerful tool, but I like to use it on the smaller time frames to kind of gauge my positions when I get in and when I get out, whether I'm long or short right now. And I'm not going to get into this long until we get over this 200 SMA on the 5-minute time period. All right. The Melania rug. Oh, that's so crazy to see. And why am I, that's just a target of the breakout of the triangle, right? And we'll take it up here, and we'll definitely be taking profits along the way, right? I'm going to look out for double tops here, right? And just our local resistance levels as we're going up. We hit this zone, I'll take a little off the table. I'll move my stop up to break even here, and we'll ride it out from there. It's not about making the entire gain and just feeling that stress as the price is going up, and you may see a really big red candle that stresses you out, makes you want to force close. You have to have a plan, right? Take 25% off, take 25% off, 50 at the top, right? And that allows you to kind of wiggle with that 2 to 1. And by moving your stop to 0, it allows you to take your risk off the table. And once your risk is off the table, it's just straight money printing, which is super nice. It's super nice to for your peace of mind to keep all your risk off the table, right? It's like free rolls on the roulette table. Like, who wouldn't take that? I would take that any day. Gonna be fired up by that fart coin. Oh my gosh. So yeah, another thing I want to caution people about, right? So there are coins out there that have gone on absolute massive runs, and I want to caution you with these, right? And you could talk about whatever asset you want with these, but there are assets in this run since Bitcoin's been booming to the upside that are up 10, 20, 1000x, right? Like the Hedera chain and Network, that have absolutely boomed to the upside. It is not uncommon for assets to retrace large amounts of where they've boomed from, right? So like the Network, look at this thing, been on an absolute tear. You're talking about, if you got this in March, you could get it at 31 cents, trading at $6 now. Like, that is an absolute tear, right? With this chart, have you ever seen a chart that just does this, right? Eventually it's gonna start going backwards, right? Like, it'll arc so much, but yeah, you just want to be careful with these assets, right? You want to find good consolidation and then take advantage of the breakout. But you always want to make sure that you're utilizing good risk management, especially on these assets, because when you have pumps like this, like Network pumped in 4 days 200, or 6 days 200, 3 to 6 days 222%, right? And now I had another leg up, right? So it is likely that these, just like Sui did, right? It had a massive run, and then, you're likely to get consolidation and then, start to move back up. And, you can get, you consolidate here and then you move up for your next leg, right? So there's always going to be retracements, right? No matter how bullish an asset looks, it is very important not to chase these massive green candles. Because imagine the stress you would have had if you would have longed up here. You would have longed up here. Like, these pullbacks are absolutely insane, right? Like, you would have been down 20% on your investment, and then you're freaking out, right? Like, well, what if that was everything you had, right? Like, you just got to be careful of those. You got to be careful of investments that have already gone on massive tears. because the retracements can oftentimes be a lot more violent, right? Good example is Sui, right? Sui had an incredible run, and I think it's an incredible asset, a competitor to Solana. I think it really is. But you had a multi-month period. So you had 4 months and you had the asset rise 457%. Of course, you're going to have some kind of pullback, right? Even though it's down 45% from its high, comparatively, it's still up, right? And we're talking about a 4-month time period here. You're up 208%, but like these, you want to be very careful when chasing assets that have gone on absolute runs, because there will be pullbacks. Another great example, something that was the latest example of FOMO, right? I love this project. I think this project is going to do absolute numbers, but the Virtuals protocol, right? The Virtuals protocol was trading at pennies back in October, and it made an absolute crazy run to up to $5, right? There are people that had thousands of coins from pennies that are going to take profits, and you're going to have somebody to sell to. So this is going to find a level out point somewhere, and you can even kind of see it right now. I do like what I'm seeing here. And we talked about that Adam and Eve pattern, right? You got the Adam right there, and you got the Eve making that nice rounded bottom. You can see something from that. And that's kind of what you want to see, looking and speculating on the asset reverting to the upside, right? And you're getting close to 200 MAs, right? You break above the 1 hour. You break above the 1 hour 200 SMA. You're kind of flagging here. It's looking nice. It's looking nice. Right, and you could potentially see something out of that. You break above the 200, you keep above the 200 SMA, price is going to get tight in here, and you may get that boom to the upside, right? If the Adam and Eve were to play out, then I'd be looking for a crack of, the resistance line from the target of that flag, and then you'd be looking for the bigger target. And that's how this asset gets out of here. That's how this asset gets done. Now, it takes SAC. It takes a lot of courage and commitment and risk to hit the buy button down here. But the people that are buying on the way up, right, from an investment strategy, right, are substantially creating risk for themselves. But people averaging in as the price falls, right, eventually you're going to come back up the median. And then if you're speculating on highs, you're going to be in a much better position than if you were getting in here, here, and here. Whereas you get in here, here, and here, right? So it's a way for you to average down on assets that you believe can really change the world. And AI is a big thing, and I think it's gonna really change the way we think. If you could look at Virtuals, some of the projects on Virtuals, they are really cool. A lot of them are video AI on YouTube, being able to have full conversations with people, and just be able to solve problems and issues that we have in the real world. So it's a cool atmosphere. The Virtuals protocol, if you ever get on there and mess around with some of the AIs, they really can change the world. They really can. All right, it looks like we're not quite getting up there at 200 SMA, but as we go throughout the night, that's what I'm going to be looking for my trade of the night. I'm going to leave it set here, and I'm going to update you guys tomorrow. Hopefully Ethereum is finding some footing, right? We're heading back in the right direction. And we're going to be heading to the upside, hopefully. And hopefully by the time I see you guys tomorrow night, this trade is back up near the $2,700 level after this confirmed breakout right here. If we get the bounce here, the 21 will follow, break above the 200, and we will be on our way. I'll be looking for Bitcoin to break this 200 MA on the 5, and that is where I will be longing, and I will be taking profits at about 98,190, and with a stop at $95,000. Not financial advice, of course. I am not a financial advisor. Get yourself a financial advisor before making any trade or investments. But that is how I see the market, and that is what I am looking at going into the night. Keep updated with me at Boyce Crypto on Twitter. I will update everyone there on active trades that I take. But until next time, I will see you guys tomorrow night for my nightly